Game begin.
Finding a stock to invest in is as simple as playing a game of Snake. For all my old heads, you know what I'm talking about. For my young bulls and bullets, this may be new for you. Essentially, if you can follow a dot across a screen, this next concept will be easy for you to understand. What's up, everybody? Sean McMurray here with another episode of Analytical Overdrive, investing in 4 minutes, and today I have a banger for y'all. So, you've watched my last video on Circle of Competence, but you are still having trouble finding that 9 to 5 leaving stock winner within your circle of competence. Let me tell you what I do in situations like this.
I just copy the out of other investors.
Investors with way more experience than I. Investors and institutions who have done way more research and have dedicated way more time than I have. I just copy their moves. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Some really smart person said that. Let's get 4 minutes on the clock. Yeah. This is part 2 of how I pick my stocks, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, ... smart money. Let me first explain the concept of smart money. No, not Lil Tay flexing. That's not smart money. Smart money is cash invested or wagered by those considered experienced, well-informed, in the know, or all three, such as institutional investors, market mavens, central banks, funds, the rich and the famous of the investing world, and the who's who of the top businesses in the world. Here's what you're going to do. Much like following a dot on Snake, you're going to follow or copy what smart money is doing. Of course, we want to stay true to our circle of competence, so use this process to help you identify those stocks. So the three steps that you are going to follow are: step 1, get your Google fingers ready and identify smart money. Step 2, Google how they got rich and or what they are investing in. Not exactly. Legitimate ways of how they got rich and legitimate investments. Step 3, put those companies and stock symbols into a list for further analysis in upcoming videos. Step 1, all right, I hope you're still with me. You're doing great, believe me. We're breaking step 1 into 4 sub-steps, which is super easy. You're going to start to realize a trend with me. It's a technique I learned as a network engineer now for 15 years or so, and all engineers use this.
You can Google it.
Sub-step 1.A, Google famous investors. Sub-step 1.B, Google biggest companies in the US. Sub-step 1.C, Google biggest index funds. Sub-step 1.D, pick about 4 to 5 from each category so you have a list of stocks to go through. Caveat: expanding your list doesn't have to be as uncomfortable as this guy playing the accordion while trying to swoon you. Start throwing in different search terms, but with what I've provided, you're bound to find a few good stocks within your circle of competence. I'll go through the steps with you so you have an example of how to do this, but this is in no way, shape, or form an endorsement of any of these people, companies, or stocks. You'll need to make that decision for yourself after you've performed your own research. For famous investors, I have Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. All right, giggity, giggity, yeah. For biggest companies in the US, Berkshire Hathaway, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Tesla. For biggest index funds, SPY, VOO, IVV, QQQ, and VTI. And I know for you beginner investors, index funds and ETFs are not going to make a whole lot of sense to you. I'll go over these in another video, but in summary, it's more of a passive way of investing into the market, as many of these ETFs track the performance and results of the major indexes, such as the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. Some ETFs even track the performance of the entire stock market. And yes, I gave you an explanation about a bunch of terms you may not understand with a bunch of other terms you also may not understand. Way to go, Sean. Simply put, investing into certain ETFs allow you the opportunity to invest to not only one company, but a bunch of companies by purchasing that one ETF. All right, good job sticking around. We are on to step 2. Google some variation of the following. How did Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Jay-Z get rich making his or her money? You'll see Warren Buffett essentially made his riches by buying and investing into companies, Berkshire Hathaway being one of those companies. Bill Gates made a scratch from Microsoft, and Mark Zuckerberg made his from Facebook. Believe it or not, for the biggest companies and index funds, you can actually see what companies they are investing into. Google this. What companies does Microsoft invest in? Well, that's interesting. Microsoft actually invests into Apple. Who would have known? For the index funds, I use Yahoo Finance. Just type in the ticker symbol, then head over to holdings, scroll down to the bottom, and you can see what their top 10 holdings are. Step 2, checked off. And on to the last, final, and the easiest step, step 3. After running through this process, we've identified Berkshire Hathaway, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Tesla, and PayPal. Make sure whatever stocks that are on your list are within your circle of competence. I also identified ETFs SPY, VOO, IVV, QQQ, and VTI for more of a passive method of investing into the market and for a bit of diversification. Boom, you did it. Give yourself a round of applause. How I pick my stocks, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, ... Smart money is in the bag. If you didn't get it, the whole point of this exercise was to generate a list of potential stocks to invest in by following smart money. You now know what smart money is and how to identify those stocks. You'll take this list over to the next series of videos to perform further analysis on in order to narrow them down to your top 9 to 5 leaving stock picks within your circle of competence. Comment below with some of the stocks within your circle of competence. I'd like to see what you all have come up with. And if any of this at all was beneficial to you, please like, comment, and superscribe. Yes, superscribe, which means subscribe and hit that notification bell so you ensure you get notifications for all the latest videos. I'm Sean McMurray. This is my channel, Analytical Overdrive, investing in 4 minutes. Yeah. I forgot to mention, you guys, I created these PDFs to help you understand these concepts. Please check the links. Please check the description below for the links to these PDFs. This will help to make this easier for you. And you're gonna take all these PDFs that you've used from the first video and the second video to help you analyze stocks in future videos. All right.